It's kind of crazy. And in French, they would say épisode 100, if you guys wanted to know.
Did you look that up ahead of time, or did you ask Amanda?
I have a French tutor right now.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yeah,
God, it's so fucking cultured of you.
Yeah, I know many French things, including épisode 100. So,
which of those words is 100? What are you actually saying? Cent.
Yeah.
Cent.
Yeah.
So when you're eating a croissant,
you're
like eating 100 of something. What does the crust mean?
It's probably 100 calories.
100 crust. No, there's way more calories in a croissant, brother.
Actually, it may be. I guess you could take and say un cent, 100 cent, 100. Doesn't really matter. Either one. Also, I look like I'm in a prison cell right now because I'm getting my house ready to sell. So we got to take pictures soon. So I took down all of my posters in this room that I'm in, and there was like all of my posters. So now it's naked as shit.
That is a missed opportunity. You're selling your house in Denver. That's like an added, like that would make people want to buy
a little flavor.
Yeah, true.
Very true.
I know, that's true.
Yeah, I'll throw in these posters, with the purchase. Let's get it done.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Totally Biased Music with Blake, Trey, and Anthony. And we got a special episode for you today. It is our 100th episode. Now, Trey was probably at about 50 of those. Anthony probably at about 50 of those. I was probably about 95 of those. But I am Face the Pod, so that makes sense. But we're going to go back. Trey's got some statistics for us. We're going to talk about our top 10 TBM albums all time. And then we're going to do a little Rides or Dies greatest hits. Anthony has a surprise for us. Then we're going to talk favorite movies. And then Trey's going to bring back a classic for us. So it's going to be an exciting episode. How do you guys feel being at 100 episodes? We've been doing this for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Time flies. I really like when you said we were doing 100 episodes. It didn't really click that meant 2 years, which is pretty crazy, considering. I remember the first episode we ever recorded. I was having to like lay in my bed and like hold my computer just right to make sure I was getting Wi-Fi. Now I'm having to drive 45 minutes to my mom's house to make sure I get Wi-Fi. So there's some common threads that have brought this all together. But it's been a lot of fun going back through the albums and kind of compiling some of these metrics was really interesting to like go back and look. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot we did that. Or like, oh, I never did that because I quit the pod for half of it. So, it was it was eye opening for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anthony, how do you feel? You came in about halfway through, I would say.
Came about halfway, yeah. Blake put out the SOS and I was like, of course I'm in. So no, it's been a ton of fun. This is something that I find super therapeutic for me personally because, with the life that I live right now, of course I got my friend group, but living with a lot of dogs, hanging out with dogs, talking to people about their dogs. And it's like the art is sidetracked in my lifestyle. So like having this kind of format where we can talk about art, movies, films, experiences, journeys, the trials and tribulations of the podcast. It's been awesome. So thank you guys for letting me come in and do that. And look forward to many more.
Yeah, me too. Sure. It's been a fucking blast. It has been a blast, and I can't wait for the next 100. So, all right, Trey, you compiled some statistics for us. So let's get into our albums. Are you ready? Do you have everything up that you need?
We have a couple small problems, but yeah, I got everything up that I need.
Okay.
So problem number 1 is we don't have 10 top albums. We actually have 11 because we have 2 different ties in the list. So I felt like pulling, just for our listeners, and we discussed this off air, but we decided that it was only fair for us to rank in our top 10 if we had at least 3 reviews or not. I just want to say that first off, we only ended up cutting like 2 albums out of that due to that rule. So really not missed much there. But one of them was Cage the Elephant, was the album that got cut because of the 2 rule, and the other one was The Forever Story. So they would have bumped out these bottom 2. Okay. Other than that, also the Eminem Show. So other than that, these are our true top 10. Do y'all have any guesses on which ones?
Starting at
where a couple of these sit?
God, I don't even know where to begin. I would need a hint or something. Well, it's too many albums.
Yeah, I mean, and it's easy to I think go at the top and like kind of cherry pick the ones that we all really love. But the interesting ones, I always got a little thorn in my side. If Kanye's on this list, it's going to be heavy. But I honestly don't know.
Kanye is
I'm very
not on
curious.
this list.
Really?
Okay.
Because
There-
my number 10
Yeah.
guess was going to be My Beautiful Dark Twisted
Yeah.
Fantasy.
No. My Beautiful
Blake
Dark
referred to
Twisted
that.
Fantasy had a... Hold on one second.
What did you call that, Blake? Our beautiful dark twisted opus, or
Our
something?
beautiful
along-
Dark Twisted Magnum Opus.
It had 8.75 because of Anthony. You and I both gave it a 10, and Anthony gave it a 7.
Damn it, Anthony.
Bias, baby.
Yeah,
Bias,
Anthony tanked
baby.
us. There's one artist, and I'll start reading. I'm not going to sit here and be like, what do you know? There's
Yeah,
one
right.
artist that made the list twice. Actually, yeah, there's one artist that made the list twice on 2 separate episodes.
Interesting.
Do y'all want to guess who
Okay.
it was?
Somebody that we've done twice.
J. Cole.
No. Anthony?
Alice in Chains? No.
No. It was Mac Miller.
That
with
makes
Bal-
sense.
Yeah.
With
Yep.
balloonerism being one of our perfect 10s. And then swimming/circles being a 9.5. So balloonerism is
Damn.
number 1, tied with The Wall, which is also number 1 with a perfect 10 as well. Those are I think our only perfect 10s for a 3-person
A threesome.
album. Yeah, for a threesome. Number 2 is Led Zeppelin 1/Led Zeppelin 4. That got that's number 3. That got a 9.56. To Pimp a Butterfly is number 3 with 9.67.
Any thoughts on that? Still, as a
pause at the
representative
top
of the
5.
podcast, Kendrick in the top 5.
I mean,
Blake?
you know,
You
look,
want to you want to know what you put? Because I mean, it is.
go
It's
ahead.
on the record.
What did I put?
Hold on one second.
This was the
you
Chad
gave
guest
it-
episode too, right?
Blake, you gave it a 10.
Interesting.
Wow.
Clearly,
Yes,
I was under
was
the
a-
influence.
That was a Chad guest. No, that was just before that was see how much you go off
Oh,
of
interesting.
recent events, brother. You gave it
Well,
a
look,
perfect
you
10
can't
that album.
you can't deny To Pimp a Butterfly. Great album,
You
and I
can't.
stand by that ranking, even though it pains me now because Kendrick is a douche now.
That's-
But back then he wasn't. He was cool.
He's not, but
So
he hasn't changed.
Right.
Then we have No Ceilings at 9.33.
and that's number 4.
No, that's number 6.
What was 4 and
Excuse me,
5?
that's number 5.
Yeah.
4 was Swimming in Circles. 5 is No Ceilings.
Okay, so out of the top 5, that's 4 hip hop albums.
So out of the top 5, so you have Balloonerism and The Wall. Are
Would you
tied
count-
tied for
Okay.
Wall.
Okay.
So those are sorry. That's why the numbers get a little wonky.
Okay.
But I didn't want to you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're good.
So,
So-
out of the top 6, which are technically our top 5, we have 2 classic rock albums in The Wall and Led Zeppelin 1 and Led Zeppelin 2, both by Led Zeppelin.
Yep.
Or excuse me, The Wall's Pink Floyd. Sorry, I'm high. I'm not actually. And then we have To Pimp a Butterfly, Balloonerism, Swimming Circles, and No Ceilings.
No ceilings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
So hip hop heavy top 5/6.
Do you all want me to
Pretty hip-hop
share my
heavy.
screen so you can see this rather than me just read it to you?
I
I
think
kind
that's
of
a,
like this reveal.
Okay,
I don't know.
cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll
We'll
share
do it
my
at the
screen
end.
when we get down to the percentages because then you can kind of visualize it a little bit more.
okay.
Excellent.
Coming off of that, I'm gonna give. All right, it's a pop artist, kind of. It's a pop rock artist and a phenomenal guitar player.
John Mayer,
John Mayer. The
Continuum.
album, Continuum. Yeah,
That's
that was a
number technically number 6.
9.17. Yeah, technically number 6. And then also tied for number 6 is an artist that I did not participate in this podcast and I don't particularly like. Any guesses?
Is it a female?
No, it's a band. We
Okay.
just talked
Oh,
about
it's
them
a band.
recently.
Tool.
Tool.
Oh,
Fear
Hell
Inoculum.
yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Did-
yeah.
that
just-
was-
honestly, John Mayer being that high is pretty surprising for me. Number
But that album's
6.
so good, though.
The album does rock. I mean,
Honestly,
that was
when-
a great
when-
episode
After
too.
I put everything in order, I was like, this honestly kind of makes sense. Like the consistency is there for sure.
Our flavors.
yeah.
Uh-huh. After that is the Carter 3, which is the first episode we ever recorded.
Okay,
That-
pause. Because he's now on there twice. Wheezy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Look at
That's my
that.
bad. Yep.
Shit.
okay.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Very interesting.
Anthony, this is all documented in that doc that you sent over to me on a new tab called
Yeah, yeah.
Years of Albums. Okay, just so you know. So
Oh,
you're
beautiful.
not, like frantically writing notes down.
I can't help it.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think? Number 8 is Highway Prayers by Billy Strings.
Billy.
Interesting.
The only
Okay.
country album on here.
If you
and
consider it country.
And then number 9, 10, because this is also tied, is Audio Slave, self-titled Audio Slave.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So
So-
wait, so that was tied with what?
Highway Prayers, they both had a 9.
Oh, gotcha.
So Highway Prayers is number 9, Audio Slave is number 10.
Correct.
Okay.
Or, yeah, they're both. We have 2 tied for first and 2 tied for 9th. We have 2 perfect 10s and 2 perfect 9s.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
what's
so that's
what's
why it makes
after that? Or is there not one after that?
There's not one after that. That's 11
Okay.
albums.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Audio Slave making the cut. I like that. That album is great. What do you guys think amongst those albums? What is your favorite? So we had. Hang on. Let me jot this down real quick. Balloonerism, The Wall.
Here, now that
Um,
I've given you the reveal, let me just share.
Yeah, if it'll let you. I don't. It was saying something weird earlier when you were trying to do it.
It's just because I hadn't selected a tab. It's fine.
So I do know Led Zeppelin is the next one. The Zeps, 1 and 4.
Can y'all see that?
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah,
just
hang on.
zoom in.
Let me make my screen bigger. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just
There we go.
zooming. There you go.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, so Balloonerism, The Wall, Led Zeppelin, To Pimp. Why did you highlight To Pimp a Butterfly in green?
It was highlighted before. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, just for the sake of.
I would have to rank these now looking at them. I mean, you're right. It does seem pretty accurate. I think Audio Slave self-titled album, I would put... Maybe I would swap Audio Slave and Fear Inoculum, personally.
I was going to say Continuum. Continuum can go down. Audio Slave can go up. I'd
That's
sit
fair.
well with that.
That's fair.
Now, Billy Strings and Mac Miller, both of those albums came out last year, so those were like debut listens as well. So
Mhm.
that's saying a lot for a first listen to be in the top 10 of 100 episodes we've done. So shout out to Mac and shout out to Billy for sure.
Yeah,
is
very true. So what did everybody... So the Audio Slave episode, Trey, what do you know what our individual rankings were?
I can find out. So you
Oh
gave
my
it a
god,
9.
this is...
This is all Anthony's work. You gave it a 9. Christian gave it an 8.5, and I gave it a 9.5.
Nice. 9.5
Yeah.
from you. I didn't even remember that. Nice.
Yeah.
Now,
I love that.
It
album.
also it's interesting that the Carter 3, Audio Slave, Swimming in Circles, all within the first 6 episodes of the podcast. So
Yeah.
that says a lot too.
So I
Very
think
interesting.
we were rating things maybe a little higher initially, and then as we got into things, we had kind of a body of work to compare it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
true.
it's like, oh well, I gave Audio Slave a 9.5, so like I have to give this that, or whatever.
But they also, I mean, those albums do stand the test of time.
Those are
So,
bangers.
Yeah, that
I
makes
think.
sense. And that's a good TBM top 10 right there.
yeah,
Would
yeah,
you
solid.
change anything, Trey?
I would probably bump Balloonerism down if I'm being real honest.
Really?
Just because I think in comparison to some of these, like it is a very emotional rating for us to give it a 10. I still think it's a really cool and interesting project, obviously, and probably is one of the most unique out of all these. But like, is Balloonerism better than Swimming in Circles? Probably not.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's not how I would look at it on like a Mac Miller catalog. Is it better than To Pimp a Butterfly? No, it's not. Is it better than the Carter 3? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Definitely
That's
brings up good conversation. But I'll say that Balloonerism has grown on me big time.
Yeah, you texted me the other day. You were listening to it.
Yeah, I was getting tattooed and then came home and was just kind of trying to just melt and put on the second half of that album, and it was so perfect. And the song, damn, I won't remember the song right now. What's the really jazzy track on that song? Do y'all recall off the top of
I'm
your
not
head?
going to remember off the top of my head, but I can look
Anyway,
at it.
I definitely remember hating it. It was released as a single, and I definitely remember not liking it.
Oh,
but-
$5 pony.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
$5
$5
Friday
pony.
rides.
So
Yeah.
when I started the second half of the album, that track leads off Seaside, I guess. And it was right. I just needed to hear that song out of the context of the album. But yeah, really enjoyed it.
I would say, but with the caveat with the Carter 3 is we did the Carter 3 the way it was supposed to be released. So we replaced Pussy Monster with Playing with Fire. And didn't we add the leak songs on there too, Trey? Or did we skip the leak songs?
I think we talked about them, but I don't know if we like included it as.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
I have
it's
to go
part of
back
it.
and listen. Do you have? I wish you would have done our lowest rated album.
I got it.
What
I
is
got
it?
it.
Yeah,
All right, y'all. You got any guesses?
I think it's the Drake 21 Savage album.
yeah. Please hold. I could give you a guess.
Oh, that's a cheat. So, all right, I don't have the 2-person caveat, but y'all can correct me. But the lowest ranked album, totally biased, is a band that Blake is a fan of. It is.
I know what it is actually.
Hit us with it.
Is it Portugal the Man?
Portugal the Man.
It is
album.
Portugal the
Yeah.
Man Woodstock with a resounding 3.83 across the average,
Yeah.
I should say.
Right
That's
here.
so whack.
The next,
You gave it a 5.5, bro.
Yeah, but
he
still.
tried. It would have been lower, but still, he couldn't save it. So the next lowest band group
Sorry, I'll stay on
album is a band that Trey really loves. Blake, you got any guesses?
Is it Bright Eyes?
No, it is Pine Grove, Montclair.
That makes
I
sense.
think that is accurate, right? It is Pine
Yeah.
Grove.
Yeah.
With a resounding 5 even. So
What
that's
did
our
I
second
give it?
lowest.
Interesting.
Right.
Well,
early-ish. Yeah,
The
you
thing
gave
of-
it a 2. You piece of shit. I gave it a 10.
Wow.
Oh my
So what did
God.
You know what
Christian
I
gave it a
should have
3.
looked at? I should have looked at what the biggest differential was, which that probably has to be.
That
Up
has
there.
That's
to
a
be.
big. That's it.
Yeah.
That's 8 points. You know.
But I would say the thing about the Portugal the Man album is I knew like there are other Portugal albums that I think Trey and Christian would have liked more because Christian I think listened to Portugal the Man. So I was gonna pick an earlier one, but I thought Woodstock would lead to like a better conversation, which it kind of did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
they,
it's still doing.
yeah, true. But they weren't big fans. You know, it happens. Swing and a miss. I made up
What
for
are
it
you
with
gonna
Pine
do?
Grove.
Yeah. Right. So the next lowest album is you called it. It's Her Loss. That's
Yeah.
Drake and 21 Savage 5.175, and then the next lowest one, and this would be the last one on this list, is the Oasis album. What's the Story? Morning
That-
Glory.
that tracks.
5.675.
Do you want to know something really
5.67.
funny? Is as I was going through this list, like obviously I would see the name of things and that "What's the story, morning glory"
It-
stuck in my head the entire time after I passed it. Like I was walking to
I
my
will
mom's
admit-
house singing it. It's a catchy little track.
That has happened to me too. In
Yeah.
all seriousness, like out of context, and I'm like, why? No, like something else needs to
infiltrating your
replace this
fucking
right
mind.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
God.
oh man,
That's classic. Well, damn, that's really interesting. I thought the tops were on par with what I would have expected, to be honest.
yeah.
Well, okay, so
So got a couple more quick metrics, and we can move on to what are we doing next? I forget. I'm sorry.
rides or
Rides or
dies.
dies.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I broke it down
Oh,
by
wow.
decade. Yeah. So hold on. Let me zoom out just a touch. So I broke it down by decade. So this is our pie chart. But if you want to look at the actual numbers, I'm gonna zoom in so we can't talk about that yet. I thought this was pretty telling, and also like I love that we've done 30% of things that have come out in the past 5 years. I think this
Same.
is a good balance, but I do want to call out. You notice one thing that's missing from this?
The 80s.
The 80s. We've
Nice.
never done an album from the 80s.
And we never will.
And we
Fuck
never
yeah.
will. Yeah.
Wow.
There's something that's good that can't. I mean, there definitely are albums,
very
Talking Heads
telling.
and stuff. But yeah, quite telling that we've just never naturally picked one. I'm sure that'll come up soon.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
But yeah, we had a lot that were in like 1970, like the actual year, 1970, 1971, and we had a lot that were on the cusp of like 2009 or 2019. So a lot in the
Gotcha.
middle there. But you know, obviously 2010s are the times that music kind of like influences probably the most because that's when our brains have the most neuroplasticity. But yeah,
Nice.
this is by decade. Any
Interesting.
any comments on
agree.
that?
I think that we need to continue to stay on this trajectory. You know, I really like our episodes where things just came out and we can all
Same.
listen for the first time and review that, and people that are listening to the album for the first time can hear like our thoughts on it as well. So I really like that, and I'm surprised the '60s is so low. But I mean, there's not much to talk about. Like, we get it, the Beatles and the Beach Boys, cool. So that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Still, it is wild. Out of 100, none, 0.
Not
in
one,
the 80s.
not
the
one
80s.
chance album from '89 or '81 or 1980.
Well, did we not do? Oh, but the Metallica album was '91, I think.
Yeah.
They have an
I think it was.
'89 album.
No, I do want to put the caveat that all of this was manual, so there's a chance of error. But I'm pretty sure this is accurate. The next one,
What you got for the next one?
Let's see what you got.
Here's the deal with this. I had to
It's a
lump a
genre.
lot. Yes, it's a genre, and as we know, genres can get tricky. So for rock, for the most part, I just used the term alternative rock. While that's not entirely accurate of something like, say, a Zaba,
Right.
It was as close as I could get.
Yeah.
So
What pop album did we do?
we did several. We
We did Amy Winehouse. Well,
We
you
did
call that
Amy
bluesy, but it could be
Well,
poppy too.
yeah, but like that's the type of stuff that was on the fringe. So for
Yeah.
pop
Taylor
albums,
Swift.
I had Michael by Michael Jackson, Collapse and Sunbeams, that Arlo Parks
Yeah.
album. Jagged Little
Loved
Pill.
that album.
I
Yeah.
had that as a pop. Amy Winehouse. I called that pop. I called Continuum pop.
That's fair, I think.
So yeah, so those are the pop ones. But as I've always talked about,
Lord.
pretty high number of hip hop albums in here. Nothing
It's
wrong
like
with that.
one in
Who's
three.
responsible for that?
It's
Yeah,
like 1 in
exactly.
3. It's really
Every
not
third.
that high. It's
Every
really
third
not that.
album.
It's literally 40%.
It's not that. It could be higher. It should be higher, to be
There,
honest.
okay. I just want you to admit that it's high.
Yeah, but like that's exactly where I thought it would be. Is like
Yeah.
because it's a little bit over 1 in 3, but like
Yeah.
because you guys typically don't, and I typically do. I mean, Anthony brought one. Trey, I think you may have brought one or two.
Yeah.
But that's about where.
And
I
that's
expected.
also like the Lil Yachty album that we did. I called that hip hop, even though it's not really a hip hop album. Like I called Balloonerism hip hop. I mean, I called Swimming in Circles hip hop, even though they are kind of there's some fringe there that exists.
Yeah.
So this is about
Yeah.
as accurate as I could get it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jam
Not an
is
easy
really
task.
low. So if you're not watching, real quick, if just in case you're only listening, hip hop 38.2%, rock 26 point, or alternative rock 26.6, pop 7.45, electronic 12.7, jam 6.4, classic rock 4.2, country 4.2, and that
Yeah.
split 4.28, 4.26 for the last ones.
Good. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
not
gave it the 100th there.
Not a lot of country, man. What did we do? One country album or two? I guess two with Billy Strings and Post Malone, right?
And then I called the Shabuzi album country.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that works.
accurate.
Yeah.
But I know we got a lot of country in the like. I think most of our fix or y'all's fix or our fix comes out in Rides or Dies with country tracks.
Yeah,
Or at least in the time of the year.
true.
Right.
Very interesting. Thank you for these graphs, Trey.
Yeah,
Very
thank
interesting.
you, Trey.
You're welcome. I figured we would do it proper,
Hell yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, those were the metrics that I had.
Nice. All right, let's get into top rides or dives. So I thought we were going to do a big reveal on the pod, but then Anthony sent his. Anthony, intro your favorite rides or dives.
So yeah, going through the list. So listeners, if you didn't know, we have consolidated all of the rides or dies that have gotten rides across the board into a Spotify playlist in our link tree. And so today, just for a couple hours, I was just shuffling through that playlist, just kind of waiting to see what catches my ears. And our rule was kind of to pick a track that we didn't submit to rides or dies. So for me, this in my mind is the greatest rides or dies that has been brought to this podcast. It is fucking hilarious. It's musically pleasing. I had no idea where this came from, and Trey revealed he had been holding on to this for a while, and I'm so glad he brought it. The track is by Dean Summerwind, and it is the classic Parked Out by the Lake.
God, I
So-
wish we could play it. I wish we could
I
play
know,
it right
it's
now.
too perfect.
That
Listeners,
song.
pause and go listen to that track because it is fucking hilarious. But what a gem! What a gem.
I remember us all really, really laughing when we were talking about that song when Trey first brought it. Like, very off the wall pick from Trey, but I love it. I love it.
So
I'm
good.
glad that you liked it. First off, I just want you guys to know that the lake that is 80 miles from Santa Fe has been located. And I've done the measurements, and currently my lake house is 1,800 or so miles from that lake. So I actually, on a day-to-day basis, am parked about 1,800 miles out by the lake.
From Santa Fe.
There we
From
go.
Santa Fe.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
yeah, great song. That was brought to me at outside of Hampton Coliseum after a pretty light show, and like it was one of those things that like at first was like turn the shit off, and then by the end of it, it was like play it again.
Run it
It
back.
is amazing. It's truly amazing.
Very nice.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Blake, what'd you bring?
I also brought a Trey track, and this, ever since he brought it, this was a long time ago. This is before Trey quit the pod, so this was like probably over a year
Took
ago.
a hiatus. I think I'd prefer.
Okay, took a hiatus. But it is Knight Rider by, I didn't have it. Tom Misch, Yusuf Days, and Freddie Gibbs. And this is one of those this was one of the first instances where Rides or Dies really like showed how important it is in the pod. Like, dropped a song that has been in my rotation consistently since Trey brought it. Love this song. Love the Freddie Gibbs feature. Just such a fucking vibe, this song. I played it the other day. I had a bunch of friends over, and I played it, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, you know who Tom Misch is?" And I was like, "I didn't until Trey brought it to the podcast." And I've just been letting it ride constantly. So great pick, Trey. Easily my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
Man,
I
it's
remember
hard.
you mentioning too, that like this like not even prior to today, at some point in the podcast after this came from a Rides or Die, I remember you saying that exact same statement of like, this is just not leaving my eardrums.
Yeah.
So
Classic.
very powerful.
Yeah, it's hard not to get a big ego when y'all both pick Trey tracks.
God.
And that was a mistake that y'all made, but and it's
True.
like one that's because it's really funny and one because it's really good. So if I do have the best taste on the pod, that's understandable.
All right. Anyway, what'd you pick? I'm gonna go ahead and not engage there.
Just cut that off. I picked "Freaker" by The Speaker by Keller Williams. The reason that I picked this is because like it just is kind of the most classic jam track that we have on here. Keller Williams is, obviously pretty famous in the jam scene. But it was a hard selection, I'm not going to lie. The other one that I had that I wanted to bring was 210s. I couldn't remember if I picked that or not. I feel like I might have. So
Chad brought it, I thought. Or no, maybe
Okay.
it was you. Maybe it was
I couldn't
you.
remember. It was definitely that Corday track.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was a hard selection. This is a great playlist. I don't know why I haven't been listening to this.
right.
Listen to this more often. Also, it's Good by Lil Wayne. Banger track.
Nice.
I think that was a you pick. So
Yeah.
just great playlist, great taste all around. Some are better than others, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I brought Freaker by The Speaker on an episode that Jordan was on. I couldn't tell you if it was The Wall or what it was, but I remember he had some story about Keller Williams and his dad, and it was really, really great. So I'll have to dig and find it. But Keller Williams is a fascinating artist and amazing to see live. He's the one man jam band. So
Side
catch him.
side note about Jordan's parents, real quick. He told me this story one time about how he walked in on his mom and his dad listening to "Neighbors" by J. Cole, and he was like, "What are you guys doing?" And they were just
amazing.
like, "We love this song." And he was like, "My parents still listen to that song." It's like, that's fucking sick.
My
Oh.
name's
I did not think that story was going in that direction. But
I know.
You think someone walks in on their parents, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're just listening to J. Cole.
Yeah. Okay, so up next, Anthony, you have a trivia bit for us, and you have not told us a lot about this. So give us the big reveal.
No. So what we're about to do may take about 10 minutes. We'll give or take. We'll be mindful of time with this. But I wanted to do a segment dedicated to our relationship with our sponsors. We've been very vocal throughout the history of the podcast with shouting out things we like, things we hope support us. So I wanted to kind of gauge your guys' memory on this. So we got a little trivia section, a little clips that I'll spice in throughout this. So Trey and Blake, we'll get this started. Do either of you guys remember who our first sponsor was?
Was it Montucky Cold Snacks?
Trey, do you have a guess?
It was indeed Montucky Cold Snacks, which I just had a cold snack the other day in Nashville, and it was so fucking good.
Nice.
Please sponsor us, Montucky Cold Snacks.
Well, let's go to the tape.
Drop
2
the
seconds.
clips.
Oh, we got
We'll
clips.
get in here. We got clips. So we're going in the Matrix real quick. Here comes our first ad ever from this podcast. We'll give it a second to load.
I'm waiting in suspense.
And
Right.
And while we're waiting
like-
on this, we just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors.
Touch, baby.
Here we go.
Yep, like they've never touched before. Like they've never touched before. You know what helps me want to touch tips with another man, Christian? Drinking 16 Montucky Cold Snacks. If I ever need to get in the mood, I just go on down to my local convenience store. You can get them anywhere in Colorado, and I purchase myself at least 2 12-packs of Montucky Cold Snacks. Montucky Cold Snacks.
Cold
In
Snacks.
case you ever want to touch your friend's pee-pee.
If you ever want to get you a cold snack.
Very nice.
Man, that's great.
That is so good. Yeah,
God,
we
I
nailed
missed
it.
that porch.
Yeah, that was and your hair was so much shorter back then, bro.
Oh, I might go back to
Damn.
that link.
I think that was episode 32. Hold on one second. I think it was
Nice.
episode 32, so it goes way back in the archives. Now, there is another version of this ad. I'm going to run it real quick for you guys, but it's worth sharing because it's interesting that there were two. So here comes this real quick. Ready? Go.
Fuck. God damn, man. I've been drinking all fucking day.
Martha, I'm trying to start the goddamn podcast. Could you shut the fuck up back there? While you're at it, why don't you get me a Montucky Cold Snack?
Advice music brought to you by Montucky Cold Snacks.
The Trey at the end really sells it. That's good.
There are gems throughout this. So without further ado, here comes a true or false question. This is going to be for Blake. Okay, Blake.
Okay.
What is Trey's drink of choice?
That's not a true or false question, but
You're right. You're right. Change it in real time.
what is Trey's drink of choice? Oh man, I don't know. I have no idea. Can I get a hint?
It is sparkling water.
Oh, okay. Did he
Like
ask
a
for
sparkling water?
Did he
It
ask
is
for
a
a
brand of
sparkling?
sparkling water.
Is it LaCroix? It's not LaCroix, I don't think. I don't know. I'm going to say LaCroix final answer because I can't remember.
All right, we will go to the tape.
I wonder
Listen
if
to
Trey
the tapes,
remembers.
Clay. Listen to the tapes.
Ready?
Yeah.
Sparkling water guy.
No, by any means, never. I have tried all of them. Topo Chico. I don't know any other ones. LaCroix.
What?
Hell no.
Dude.
Hell no.
Stand.
Oh,
LaCroix sponsor us.
Nice.
Oh no.
Nice.
They're so good, man. They're like, it's like you're drinking water, but with like a little spice.
See how well I know you, Trey? You see how
Man,
well I know
it
you?
says a lot about me and you. It says a lot about our relationship.
It really does. It really does. Very
Okay.
nice.
All right,
That was
now
a key line
Trey.
LaCroix, too. The best of LaCroix.
I cannot stand it. Blake, do you have a sparkling water choice?
I just go generic
He
Kirkland
drinks
brand.
plain. He drinks plain
Yeah.
sparkling water,
Plain.
which is sociopath behavior in my eyes. But
Yeah, right. Okay.
Hopefully.
All right. So Trey, this is not a true or false. It is a question. Blake's salad of choice: chicken salad or egg salad or tuna salad.
it's egg salad. He makes a really good egg salad recipe.
Shall we run it?
Let's run it.
Let's
I'm pretty confident in this answer.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But if it's tuna salad, I'm going to be embarrassed.
A funny story. When I was making my egg salad, I
Oh.
put this song on, and then I was like, man, that song is really fucking good. And I kind of just let them ride, and I listened to like 6 of their songs while I was making my egg salad because it's not a
Wow.
quick process to make egg salad, which I made. Egg salad, please sponsor me.
That's the most ridiculous sponsorship request because
Right?
like,
Just
who's
egg salad in
sponsoring you?
general. Just in
Yeah.
general. Any egg salad.
So well, of the ridiculous ones, we have many, and we won't go into all of them. But Blake did shout out the small guys. You know, he said, "All right, small guys, sponsor us, right?"
What small guys?
So let me run this for you guys and list. Do you have this small guys segment? All right, mainly it's websites and they're not really small guys, but any guesses as far as websites that we have asked to sponsor us?
What do you mean by
Def-
small guys?
Definitely not Pitchfork.
Kind of a joke. Yeah,
Definitely
we did
not Pitchfork. I don't know. DatPiff. I could see DatPiff. Maybe I wouldn't have done Rolling Stone either.
What you done? Spotify? Is that a website?
That
Is that
doesn't
considered
count.
a website?
I don't
Okay.
think it
Spotify
counts.
is who we're working with, so they're already entangled. All right, so let me run this for you guys. This is our small guys segment. Here we go.
I'm really interested to hear this.
Make sure that tell me if this is not sharing audio. So hold on. Here we go. Y'all can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. From the top.
No audio.
No audio, you
but
said?
You guys
All
look
right,
like you're having
2
such a
seconds.
great time.
Yeah, right. All right, so here we go. Let me try this again. Share screen. Entire screen. 100 episodes. Figuring it out as we go. Just may take a second to load.
Do you have them off the top of your head in case it?
Yeah, you know, you gotta throw the ball.
Okay,
You gotta
here-
throw
hearing
the
this now?
small guys every once in a while.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Small guys sponsor us.
Check.
Okay, that's good. I'm sorry, I was just looking through the trusted source that is Wikipedia. Wikipedia, sponsor us.
I think they're struggling financially.
Yeah. I'm not always fucking saying, "Ooh, give me $1." Like, okay, no. I'm just never gonna do it.
I'm
sorry.
never giving you
No,
a
I'm
dollar.
never
This is
giving
a
you a
good-
dollar.
This is a good pitch for your sponsor. Please
Yeah,
sponsor
pay
me.
me.
We'll never give you money.
I'll never give you.
According to Genius.com, which used to be Rap Genius, by the way, but then they branched out to other forms of music. Genius.com sponsors us. But it is.
No, it's a top 10 of all time Western.
Yeah, so I'm cool with that.
But like by this rating thing that I'm looking at on IMDb.com. IMDb.com sponsor.
The song's called I heard this fucking groove in the background and then it built to a beat and I was like, this is fucking gangster. What is this? So I Shazammed it. Shazam, give us a sponsor. And this song is like from the 70s. So those are the
Very
small
nice.
guys. out
Those are
there.
the small guys. I
Yeah,
love
they're
that.
all
Yeah.
very small.
Yeah,
Nice.
super
Mhm.
tiny. We're still not
Right.
giving Wikipedia $1
Yeah,
ever.
don't ask
Yeah.
us for money. We're not giving it to you.
No. So let's see. Y'all want one more clip? And then this will wrap up the segment. But I have a question for you guys. So we all know who our favorite sponsor is, right? We know who our main
Yes,
sponsor is.
Bose.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
It's definitely Bose headphones. Shout out Bose. So
We
my
love y'all,
question
Bose.
to you guys is, let me see. Yes. My question for you guys is, how many times did we mention Bose as a sponsor throughout the first 100 episodes?
15.
Okay.
12.
Okay. So that's a lot, but we mentioned it supposedly 9 times. Okay. Now,
Okay.
it may not seem like a lot, but
Yeah.
Nope, never
all
mind.
right. So I don't know where we're at or when I cut.
We didn't watch the clip.
We
didn't
didn't
watch
know
the
when
clip.
it started
All right,
playing.
we'll cut it in post. I'll
Yeah.
send it to you after. But
Hey everyone, welcome to Totally Biased Music. Unfortunately, we are not able to have an intro track anymore, so we are excited to debut our very first sponsorship ad, and we're going to let you guys listen to that right now.
I did at the gym today with my new Bose headphones. Shout out Amanda.
I listened to some more
Shout
of those.
out Bose.
Yeah, that's what
Shout out Bose, true.
Sponsor us, Bose. Mine are about to fall
Yeah,
off. So.
please. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need headphones and you want to listen to Random Rab, Bose headphones are the ones to do it. I'm currently wearing them now. Bose, please sponsor us. I put on my Bose headphones. Bose, please sponsor us. And I went and walked the dogs. It was freezing. Snow was on the ground. And just listened to it while I walked the dogs, and then came home and was finishing it. And Amanda was like, "Why are you listening to this by yourself? Like, take your fucking headphones off. I want to listen to it too." I was like, "Let me finish, and then we can do a run together." I've been turning down my music on my Bose headphones. My Bose headphones. Bose, please sponsor us. Even though I know Bose would never damage my hearing, obviously.
Those headphones, we can get really loud.
Yeah. Shout out Bose. I have Bose in my new car that I just purchased. They included it for free. They messaged me and said, "Let us install Bose in the car," and I let them, obviously, because they're our sponsor.
That's what hard work does for you. Yeah.
Right, and that shit. Let me tell you, I haven't listened in the car yet to this song, but I need to go listen to it because I know that shit's gonna bang on those fucking Bose speakers, man. So I listened to it before bed last night, like in bed with my Bose headphones. Bose, please sponsor us. And then same thing this morning. Echoes a little bit. His voice kind of echoes a little bit. And the way it sounds, it's like when you're listening on Bose sound canceling headphones, Bose sponsor us. It really teleports you. The only way to listen to this album. It teleports you into like this. Like the woods, you're like in a forest, you know. That's immediately where you go, and I think that speaks volumes to it.
You know, our biggest sponsor, Bose headphones.
Shout out,
great.
Which we're all wearing right now.
Which we're all wearing.
Certainly.
That's what they've asked us for. So, yeah.
And obviously, that's music that I love very much. So I'm biased in that fact. But this is totally biased music, and that's the way it fucking rolls, you know.
Sponsored by Bose headphones.
Sponsored by Bose headphones.
Basically, my computer crashed because of so much Bose headphones that we were going through. It was madness. It was madness. So sorry about that. But still, shout out Bose.
Yeah,
So,
I'll throw it in there.
Yeah, I'll send it to you guys.
All right, so up next for the 100th episode special, we have our top movies that we are going to do. And I was telling Anthony before you got on, Trey, man, there's so many fucking movies that I want to talk about, but obviously we don't have the time for it. So I'm just going to rattle off a few real quick. I will say probably my favorite movie of the podcast was Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Yes. I think that had the best conversation.
Which easily was the funniest movie that we watched by a wide margin, and one of the funniest movies I've ever fucking seen. And
God, it's so funny.
I still think about the scene where he says, "Your performance was so bad, you have rattled my faith in the Jewish people." That will never get old to me. So that's definitely up there. And then I want to touch on, Anthony and I did a handful of series, and Trey, you were kind of involved with one of them. So we talked Alien. We kind of did Alien almost as a full series, not really, but pieces of it. Anthony and I did the Planet of the Apes trilogy, which is probably my favorite section of movies we did because, God, those movies are phenomenal.
So sick.
And it just led to a great conversation. We did A Quiet Place 1 through 3, which also great to go revisit those. I thought the new one was really good. I counted Twister and Twisters, which I thought was awesome because, big fan of Twisters. So those were really our series that we did.
Forgetting one. The X trilogy. So we did Pearl, X, and Maxine. So that was really close to my heart. So I'm glad we got to put some closure on that.
Yeah, I want us to keep doing that, doing asides, doing sections of movies. I thought that was really great. And then just some others I threw in there. The Bike Riders and Ford vs. Ferrari. Love some engine movies, so those were good to do as well. So those were kind of my top ones. But I really liked our multiple series that we did. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Trey, any movies that stuck out to you?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about movies that I had not seen before y'all brought them to me. The number one, I thought we were just picking one, so I kind of picked one, but the big thing was Alien. I think Alien 2, no, Alien, because remember I started watching Alien 2.
Yeah.
Alien was, that's one of my favorite series in general now, and I'd never seen it before, so that actually is a life-changing selection from I'm guessing Blake.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
So Alien, Flow
Yeah,
was so cool and so different, and a big one for me. And then I think I didn't make this pick, but this is just a movie that I like a lot that was unique that I'd seen it before, but The Menu.
Yeah,
So great. and
nice.
sick. And then Disturbia is a classic. I think that was one of my selections, but it still jumped off.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Disturbia.
Yeah.
Such
so
a
yeah.
good one.
Yeah, but
Nice.
I mean, I couldn't talk enough about the Alien series, man. Like, it is excellent. Romulus, I think I ended up picking that one down the road so we could talk about it. And, stoked to see if they do anything new.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would say the 3-week run that we did, which was Soul into Flow into Balloonerism. That to me is it's such an emotional ride, so beautifully done. All 3 animated films. I mean, those 3 weeks, I was like, that headspace was so nice to hang out in for a while. So those 3 movies really stuck out to me. I think the fact that Blake has brought now 2 Zack Snyder films to the podcast is worth mentioning for sure.
It's a Snyder fanboy.
Yeah, he's a closet Snyderhead.
Yeah, true.
Challengers. So Challengers, Blake brought that, and I think I either had seen it or was about to go see it anyway. So it was like perfect timing, and that's a fun fucking movie, a fun sport movie. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that. And then, of course, I cannot forget the atrocity that was the attempt to watch Beau is Afraid. So if ever y'all want to run that back and give it another shot,
We scarred it.
we can totally do that. You did not scar me. You just missed out on the last half of the movie, which is pretty wild. So, but yeah, Beau is Afraid. We can always run that back.
Honestly, challengers like Zendaya. Whew, goddamn. Zendaya, please sponsor
That was
us.
my first film ever seeing her, I believe. You
No,
know, I
Dune.
never-
You saw her in
Oh.
Dune.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right.
Yeah. And you haven't you seen Euphoria?
Mm-mm.
Which I know it's not a film, but
Did Challengers come out after Dune Part 2 or before Dune Part 2?
Before Dune Part 2.
It did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it was the first time I saw Zendaya because I didn't
Oh, I
see
guess,
Dune
yeah.
Part 1 till Dune Part 2 came out and watched them both
Yeah.
in sequence. But Dune Part 2, we did that as well. So Zendaya's on here twice, at least for now,
Yeah.
until we go deeper.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of good movies, man. I'm excited for what we do with movies in the future for sure. We got a lot of potential there. So yeah, good shit.
good shit.
All right,
Got one last segment.
but certainly not least, Trey. It's time to bring back a classic.
Here we go, baby.
Let us
Here we
know
go.
what
Do
we're-
we have the claps?
Hang
Yeah,
on,
I
I'm
was
getting
about
them
to say, you
cued.
gotta-
I'm getting them cued. All right, Trey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trey's Throbbing Threads.
Ooh, clap it up.
Yeah, so we used to do Twitter. We used to do Trey's Terrible Twitter Takes. Unfortunately, Twitter has been taken over by a megalomaniac sociopath that is hell-bent on taking food from every poor person in this country. So we've switched to Threads, which is also run by a megalomaniac who is, not as directly taking food from poor people in every country. But anyway, without further ado, this one comes from I Am Quran greater than Biggie Smalls. He says, Biggie's mom thinking that cocaine on the plate under the bed was mashed potatoes means that homie had a plate of actual mashed potatoes under the bed before.
Holy shit.
I believe it.
Out the
I
gate.
believe it.
Yeah, fucking
I thought you'd
hilarious.
like that. All right, this one is from. Hold on one second, because I had to do these in a weird way.
Ugh.
1 second, please hold. Where is it? All right, so just for a little bit of background information, Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense. And if you haven't been keeping up with local news, or not local news, but recent news, unfortunately, they were talking about the national security plans and our plans to bomb Yemen in a Signal group chat and accidentally added the editor-in-chief at The Atlantic. So there's a lot of content about Pete Hegseth on the internet right now. So this one is from _Max_Duggan. And it says, Applebee's night manager, sir, we are closing. Pete Hegseth, we are bombing Yemen.
Nice.
So there's that one. And here's another one. If I drunk text my ex at 3 a.m., I'm just going to say it was actually Pete Hegseth.
Fair. Also fair.
This one is not. Wait, hold on. I got one more. Breaking. Pete Hegseth just texted me the date that Taylor's dropping Reputation. Taylor's version. That was a Taylor Swift thing right here. And this one is from What's a Qualor? This is a different topic, so we're switching lanes. Peeing extra loud in the public restroom so the girlies know who's the alpha. That's a girl pee joke for you.
Love it.
And this is one more. We could keep going if we want, but I like this one. This one's from Churldies. The names on threads aren't nearly as funny as the names on Twitter.
Yeah,
I do have
true.
to admit.
Give it time.
This one is: there are 2 canon events in life. 1, 7th grade. 2, divorce.
I don't know why it's 7th grade, but that seems accurate.
I remember
That seems
everything
really
about
accurate.
7th grade for some reason. Like I remember all my friends. I just feel like it just makes sense. And then we have one more from Pete Hegseth related, but also bringing back an old classic friend, our good friend, the youth pastor. This is from Janelle Como in his best youth pastor voice. You know who else got in trouble by accidentally adding the wrong person to his group chat with the boys? That was Judas.
So good.
So,
Man, I miss
yeah.
Cool Youth Pastor. Those were the
Cool
best.
Youth Pastor was the man. So I figured I found that one, and I was like, I gotta drop that one in.
That's a really good
So
one.
those are Trey's throbbing threads, and I feel like if we pick that back up, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So I can narrow
agree.
it down to 3 in the future. It's good to be
agree.
topical,
Yeah, true. Very true.
I will probably think back on the Biggie one and be cracking up randomly just throughout the
Yeah,
day. And
that
when
was
I watch the
honestly-
movie again, I will see it.
Yeah, I started out kind of with like the closer there, but
Still
it
a
was so
banger.
funny.
It was worth it.
Yeah, still a banger. Thank you.
All right, so that was our 100th episode special. If you guys have stuck around this long and have been enjoying the ride, we appreciate it. It's been a blast. We got an audience on YouTube, we got an audience on Spotify, and there are people that listen, and we appreciate that always. We hope you stick with us. We continue to do this. It's going to get even better. We're going to start mixing things up. I don't think we're not going to do a movie and album pick right now, right? Because we're going to talk about kind of how we want to do that moving forward, but we'll drop it on socials once we figure out next week. But yeah, thanks for everybody tuning in and sticking along with us. Trey, Anthony, thanks for doing it, and it's been a blast, boys. I hope it continues to be a blast.
Our goal is to get us in the same room once for the next 100. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, agreed.
100%.
Our other goal is also to blow up and pretend like we don't know anyone except for our close friends and family.
Which is
that's
still
always been the goal of this podcast. That will always be the goal of this podcast. And until that moment happens, we will keep fighting. We will keep pounding, as they say in the Carolina Panthers organization. Sorry, Anthony. And yeah, it's been an absolute blast. I love the way this has changed the way that I listen to music and the way that we present music to each other. And it started out as a group chat where we were just sending shit and talking about music all the time, and eventually we were like, we should record this, and it's an absolute blast, and it's a highlight of my life.
all right. Gay.
So,
Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna call it here, guys. It was a blast. I need to go cook dinner for my lovely girlfriend, so I'm gonna go do that. But yeah, I'll text you guys so we can figure out next week, and we'll go.
All right.
cool. Enjoy your egg salad. Peace.
Yeah, you already know.
Billy Strings, we got you.
Hell yeah.
We got you, bro.
We got you, bro.
Billy String sponsor us.